Meghan Markle has unfairly got a reputation for being a bit of a diva, but royal insiders say she's only ever made one demand. Don't leave her alone with Prince Andrew.
Fiancée, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m, USA Network.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this one.
If you had lunch with Meghan Markle, you'd be stunned at how dumb she was. Not because she's black, because I wouldn't think she was black if I looked at her, because she's an actress who was on the show Suits.
Authentically, organically want to share. I go back to the authenticity, right? It's what I love and it's what I want to share. I wanted to do what felt authentic, but also to be authentic.
You're a cold-hearted woman.
Harry and Meghan are leaving the palace to become financially independent. And you see, this is what happens when you bring the first black woman into the royal family. Yeah. She looked at Harry and she's like, "Nigga, you need to get a job. You need a job. You a grown-ass man. You can't still be living in your mama's house, Harry."
Meghan Markle is somebody who obviously, at least for a period of time, was a close associate of Prince Andrew, and hence is in a position to perhaps have seen what he did, and perhaps, if not, to have seen what he did, to have heard people talk about it.
You're a cold-hearted woman, Sonia. I'll fucking show you, dying. I'm leaving you. Is it a weekend at Bernie's situation, Sonia? What the fuck are you talking about? No, he's fine. He's signing the documents.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
For someone who says she wants privacy, Meghan Markle sure stays in the spotlight. Every time things calm down, there's another interview, another appearance, another headline. Critics keep pointing out the same thing.
I mean this sincerely, Prince Harry and Meghan, we don't give a fuck. America don't give a fuck about you. We don't care about the royal family.
They got a Netflix show.
We never cared about nothing that had to do with keep your shows, keep your drama, keep all that nonsense. That's for you British people to fake care about. We do not give a fuck. We don't care.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I hate them. They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H and M, and I just thought, oh, do f*** off. Harry starts describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, "Me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew." Harry says, "How do you explain to someone who've just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?"
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the fucking queen.
If you truly want quiet, why keep stepping onto the loudest stages? The cameras never really go away, and neither does the narrative around her. Some observers argue that over the years, parts of her story seem to shift. They claim uncomfortable details disappear, timelines get adjusted, and critics get labeled as haters. Supporters say she's just protecting her truth. Detractors say it looks like brand management. Either way, people notice the pattern and it keeps the conversation alive. There's nothing wrong with being a feminist. That word stands for equality and strength. The issue critics raise isn't the label, it's the consistency. One commentator even said she appeared to be the fakest feminist alive.
Fireworks? What? Let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, they want so much privacy.
Down with the Motorhead. We deserve our privacy.
Are they really like this?
And nobody is a realer housewife than Meghan Markle, who married this ginger retard and took him out of his racist family so that they could live in Beverly Hills or wherever the they live. Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true.
All have in common.
Who's the lady in the middle?
What, Wallis Simpson? She's a divorced American lady, and she calls the king to abdicate because he wanted to be with her. Do you remember?
So she's like vintage Meghan, old school Meghan.
Yeah, she's American.
That's a great way to describe Wallis Simpson. She's the original Meghan Markle.
Okay.
That line spread fast because it captured how some viewers feel. They're tired of hearing about my truth, my pain, my struggle, without equal acknowledgement of contradictions. Fair or not, that perception sticks. And that was only the beginning.
Now, I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporarily storing them. Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex. They are in a loving home, and I treat them better than the museum ever did. They didn't appreciate Meghan's soft hands or Harry's supple lips.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
Oh, no, please don't send them here. We don't need them here. Keep them in the States, eh? We're not keeping them in the USA, bro. We never wanted them. Send them back to the UK.
Oi, mate, absolutely not. We already got rid of them once. We're not taking return. Finders weepers, losers keepers, yeah?
We know that Meghan Markle was doing the nasty there with a bunch of people. I am so shocked that Harry is not concerned about his... I hope he had an STD check, because this is gross, because we know what they were doing in those yachts.
But look, it's vanity, pure and simple is what it is. Everyone's hung up about something. Good example, my girlfriend's incredibly self-conscious about her big, fat, ugly nose. No offense, love. No, I didn't know you'd be here. It's a lady on the front row looking paranoid. Like, have I got a massive nose and no one's ever told me? You did like my suit, yes, I should be nicer, but how would that be funny?
She has connections. She has people whose necks she can step on to get to the next level. She does not have friends.
Jimmy Carr didn't gently tease the couple. He went all in on their public image. His routine targeted the contrast between stepping away from royal life and stepping straight into global media deals. The jokes landed because they focused on something people already debate. Is this about privacy, or is it about control over the spotlight? Prince Harry has explained many times that he left royal duties to escape pressure, structure, and constant media intrusion. That part is clear. But critics argue that documentaries, memoirs, interviews, and streaming specials keep him firmly in the public arena. To them, it feels less like freedom and more like a rebrand. Instead of palace protocols, there are production meetings. Instead of royal briefings, there are content strategies. That irony fuels the punchlines.
Now, I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporarily storing them. Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex. They are in a loving home, and I treat them better than the museum ever did. They didn't appreciate Meghan's soft hands or Harry's supple lips.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
Oh, no, please don't send them here. We don't need them here. Keep them in the States, eh? We're not keeping them in the USA, bro. We never wanted them. Send them back to the UK.
Oi, mate, absolutely not. We already got rid of them once. We're not taking return. Finders weepers, losers keepers, yeah?
We know that Meghan Markle was doing the nasty there with a bunch of people. I am so shocked that Harry is not concerned about his... I hope he had an STD check, because this is gross, because we know what they were doing in those yachts.
But look, it's vanity, pure and simple is what it is. Everyone's hung up about something. Good example, my girlfriend's incredibly self-conscious about her big, fat, ugly nose. No offense, love. No, I didn't know you'd be here. It's a lady on the front row looking paranoid. Like, have I got a massive nose and no one's ever told me? You did like my suit, yes, I should be nicer, but how would that be funny?
She has connections. She has people whose necks she can step on to get to the next level. She does not have friends.
Some viewers have reached the point where sympathy turns into frustration. They hear repeated stories of hardship and think, everyone struggles in life. Pain isn't exclusive to royalty. When the message feels constant, it can lose its impact. That doesn't erase anyone's experience, but it does change how the audience reacts. Kelly Osbourne shared her opinion, adding to the growing pile of commentary. But Jimmy Carr's routine became the real headline because sharp comedy cuts through polished messaging. He framed it as a modern celebrity paradox, asking for privacy while living very publicly. That contradiction is what keeps trending. And then there's Meghan again. She talks about wanting space, yet appears in high-profile interviews, streaming projects, podcasts, and red carpet events.
I remember that day in Windsor. It was magical when Harry and Meghan got married, and I remember thinking that the world had finally shifted, that we were moving forward. But now we know that the fairy tale was actually the beginning of a very long and painful nightmare.
What can Harry do?
He doesn't get security anymore. He has to pay for security. He has to buy his house. He has to mind the kids.
Do you know what Harry did for a while? Do you know what William used to do? William used to fly Coast Guard helicopters. Put on a little helmet, put on goggles. Nobody knew who he was, flew a helicopter. There's nothing stopping Harry getting a job flying helicopters in LA. He could fly a traffic report helicopter every morning.
Now go
Highly
away.
qualified man.
I'm so silly.
I'm so silly. Getting a job like the rest of us.
Because the paparazzi are never going to leave them alone.
Because they keep going up to the paparazzi and saying, hello, leave me alone.
Leave them alone.
She can nail every Spotify deal, WME representation she wants. It's never going to fulfill the hole that's inside of her because there's something wrong with this woman. She dumped her family. Her dad is dying. She won't speak to him. She's ruined another family. It happens to be the royal one. And now they're going to have to sit with the consequences of their own behavior, which is misery.
World of entertainment, Netflix has decided it will not renew its deal with Prince Harry and Meghan. It looks like the $100 million multi-year contract with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex is set to expire in September. And that's where Netflix will leave it. With more on that.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's media empire is expanding into podcasting. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have joined forces with Spotify to produce and host podcasts, their first series coming next year. The couple have already signed a deal to produce films and TV shows for Netflix after stepping down from royal duties.
Critics say it's like claiming you dislike attention while standing under bright lights. Supporters argue she's simply telling her story on her own terms. The divide couldn't be clearer. Some jokes pushed into uncomfortable territory, aiming at the intensity of the drama surrounding the couple. The point wasn't to compare situations, but to highlight how over the top the public narrative can feel. When celebrity conflict starts resembling reality television, people stop seeing it as serious and start seeing it as spectacle. Jimmy made one thing clear in his set. From California, the couple presents themselves as independent and ordinary, yet they remain deeply connected to powerful media circles. That contrast is the punchline. A regular couple, living near major industry figures and far from traditional royal rules. That's the image being sold. Whether people defend them or criticize them, one fact stands tall.
I think Harry's a fucking twat. I do. I think he's a fucking twat. He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
You've been handed the world and every major contract, you had podcasts, you have all of this, and you didn't deliver because
There's nothing to deliver.
Yeah, because you don't have it. And that's okay. And I think they do have a right to privacy, but that doesn't seem to me what they're looking for.
Everybody's fucking life is hard.
Yeah,
you were
true.
the prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a fucking Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope?
Curtsy, the thing she said about medieval times, her lunch with the Queen was like medieval times, which, as you know, is a Disney-type entertainment place for kids. And it's just so horribly disrespectful and just a wine fest. Cuddly, lovey, holding hands, going everywhere together. It's so disingenuous. It's like, come on.
The debate around Harry and Meghan is loud, emotional, and far from over. Meghan didn't just marry into the royal family. Critics say she flipped the whole system upside down. That's the accusation flying around online. Some claim she pulled Prince Harry away from longtime friends and created distance between him and his relatives. Supporters call it protecting her husband. Detractors call it division. The debate is loud, and it's not slowing down. When Jimmy Carr compared Meghan Markle to Wallis Simpson, he knew exactly what he was doing. Wallis Simpson was the American divorcee linked to King Edward VIII stepping away from the throne in the 1930s. That comparison wasn't random. It was meant to spark controversy. Some viewers felt it was exaggerated. Others thought it highlighted history repeating itself. Either way, the crowd reacted. Let's be clear. Choosing love over status isn't the issue. If someone walks away from power for love, that's their choice. The criticism comes from what happened next.
I've already settled it for myself. So flattery and criticism go down the same drain. Nothing negative about being a feminist. It's not the F word.
Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
My friends have to read those things. Like, I have real best friends, the same ones since I was 17. You know, like, I'm a real mom. I have to go and I choose to go and do school pickup and drop off, but I do that under a landscape that is created that forgets that I'm a real person. My kids will see those magazines, and we all know moms gossip.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim.
No, you're not a fucking victim. What are you talking about? June Harry, the ginger, formerly known as Prince, became the first British royal to give evidence in court for 130 years. It's disgusting the way the press have tried to manipulate, gaslight and control Harry. I mean, who do they think they are? Meghan? Well, you never stood a fucking chance, did you?
Prince William or Prince Harry?
Prince William or Prince Harry? Well, the royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashians. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as a Nazi, and he fucked up.
Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, and almost instantly there were major interviews, streaming deals, and podcast contracts. Oprah interview, Spotify partnership, Netflix projects. To critics, the timing felt strategic. Supporters argue it was simply building financial independence. Two very different interpretations. Many online commentators say it stopped looking like an escape and started looking like a business move. Instead of leaving the royal narrative behind, they packaged their experiences into documentaries, books, and speaking engagements. That's where frustration kicks in for some people. They feel the royal story wasn't abandoned. It was monetized. Jimmy also joked about taxpayer-funded security and expenses tied to their transition period. That line stirred strong reactions. Some saw it as fair criticism about accountability. Others viewed it as oversimplified comedy. But once those jokes hit social media, the internet exploded with opinions. Then came the question of Harry's independence. Carr suggested that Harry has always operated within structured systems. First under palace protocol, then under family guidance, and now within professional media teams.
Meghan Markle was there, who's a huge celebrity.
Yeah, you guys love suits.
Specifically, Prince Harry loves suits.
Yeah.
He used it like Tinder.
It's very interesting. Did you ever run into Meghan Markle or anything like that you ever heard of? Because you were in New York quite a lot. But then you were until 2013, and Meghan Markle, I think, entered the scene with Soho House in 2012.
Yeah, so I went to Soho House a lot in London. It was a scene like Harry was always there, partying. He partied a lot. I saw so many people in the Soho, and it was dark. It was a lot of escorts were there. A lot of models were there. It was definitely a scene. Ron was there.
It's all going great. Don't fuck it up.
They've made an appeal for their privacy, and they said, we just want everybody to leave them alone.
But we're going to do books and documentaries.
Well, no, they said it on Oprah, and then weirdly nobody left them alone. So they thought, well, okay, we started a Spotify series. So Meghan did her Spotify series saying, leave me alone, will you stop looking at me? And people kept looking at her. So then they did a book.
You pop.
It's true, he did a book saying, leave me alone, stop giving me all this attention. And that didn't work either. So now they've got a Netflix documentary saying, leave us alone, stop giving us all this attention. It is likely, one assumes, to be an absolute goldmine for Netflix. They're going to make a fortune, because if you remember Howard Stern, the shock jock in the States, there's a famous scene in his movie and in his book Private Parts where they do the original research into him on WNBC, and they say what the research shows is that half of his listeners hate him, and management said all the more reason to get him off, and they said no, they're the ones who listen most. And that's what'll happen with this. People who loathe Harry and Meghan.
Critics interpret that as him struggling to lead his own narrative. Supporters say everyone has advisors and that partnership doesn't equal control. Still, the perception lingers. Some commentators argue that Harry moved from one structured life into another, from royal institution to Hollywood production schedules. Instead of royal briefings, there are brand meetings. Instead of palace communications, there are media strategies. To critics, that's not escape. It's a shift in management style. To supporters, it's growth and self-determination. The split in opinion couldn't be sharper. Let's be real for a second. The backlash isn't only about dislike. A lot of it centers on consistency. When personal struggles become documentaries, memoirs, and exclusive interviews, some viewers start questioning the balance between healing and profit. Regular people deal with family tension, media stress, and mental health challenges without global platforms. That comparison fuels resentment in certain audiences. Another moment that sparked debate was Meghan's wedding guest list. Critics noted that several of her extended relatives were not present. Supporters argue that personal family matters are complicated and private.
In January, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced plans to step back from royal duties and move to America. A term was coined to sum up the event and added to the Collins English Dictionary. What was it?
Oh, I know this one. Is it called rebranding?
No, Chloe. It's called
Megxit.
Oh, maybe I will get the next one right.
Question number 2.
In May, Prince Harry married Meghan Markle at a star-studded wedding in Windsor. Elton John, Tom Hardy and the Beckhams were all there, but can you name 3 American celebrities that attended?
I don't know about the 3 American celebrities that attended, but I definitely know 3 Americans who didn't attend. Meghan's father, mother, and her brother. She didn't invite her own family to the wedding.
They're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us, poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention. You're just fragile. Just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? Hit the fucking light skin lottery and still going on complaining. Acting all dumb like she don't know nothing. Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family.
Detractors say it shows a pattern. Again, perspective changes everything. Interestingly, when Jimmy Carr spoke about Prince William, his tone shifted. There was less sarcasm and more respect. That contrast stood out. William is often portrayed as steady, duty-focused, and grounded. Whether that image is perfectly accurate or carefully managed, it resonates with many people. The privacy argument remains the biggest sticking point. Harry and Meghan said they wanted space from relentless attention. Yet they've participated in interviews, streaming series, public speaking events, and podcast projects. Critics say you can't demand privacy while producing content about your life. Supporters counter that telling your story on your own terms is different from tabloid intrusion. That's the heart of the argument. At this stage, some believe they're not escaping the spotlight. They're navigating it on their own terms. Others believe the victim narrative has been stretched too far. Whichever side people fall on, one thing is obvious. The world is still watching. Drop a comment with your take on the situation. Nah, hit like if you think comedians are just reflecting public opinion. And subscribe, because this conversation isn't fading anytime soon.